Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my Survive and Thrive campaign. Today I have Toby Lawrence, who I'm about to interview. He has an absolute fantastic business. He's there. His whole company is about helping people. The company name is Arrow Health. You know, they've been operating for 5.5 years. They employ 33 staff. We do a lot of HR work. You know, Maya, who does work for you, Toby, is just absolutely unbelievable. But could you just give us a bit of background about the hospital that you've got?
So yeah, we primarily one of our, I guess, focused services that we deliver is a addiction detox and withdrawal hospital that we run up in country Victoria, and we've been registered with DHS now with 7 beds for the last 9 or 10 months off the top of my head. And essentially, it's been a big string to our bow because coming with that registration comes a lot of regulation, a lot of compliance work that we have to do. So it's been fantastic in a sense that it's allowed us to provide a better level of service for for individuals that are looking to treat their addiction. But at the same time, it's required us to take on additional staff and put in place process and procedure that's quite rigorous, that we can document and prove to various agencies that we comply. And that's where Maya and key business advisors have been so integral, is because without your help, I'm not sure we'd be able to do the demonstrating that we've been able to do thus far.
That's okay, and thanks for the bit of promo there. But that's okay. That's not what this is about. This is about I know we take business from good to great. I know we've got a great team. You know, the whole idea of this, mate, is you know, there are a lot of business owners out there that are really struggling. So is the community. I just want to put that out there. But there's a lot of business owners out there that are thinking, well, how do I get to the other side? And that's a real concern.
Yeah.
And I just think, you know, there's so much media at the moment about, you know, what's going on. And I just think if we can get some sort of communication happening from business owner to business owner, sharing what they're doing and how they're coping at the moment, would be absolutely fantastic, and try and create a bit of motivation. And I think for me, mate, the thing that I'm really pushing is, you know, what's your plan? What's your stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 plan? And then more importantly, what are you doing differently? So if I just ask, how are you coping at the moment because you use a lot of medical staff, and we know that they're under the pump.
Yeah.
So how are you coping at the moment with the situation that we're in?
Generally, we're coping pretty well. Although we've been running for 5.5 years, we've basically been a startup business that entire time. So an issue like the coronavirus, or the current sort of issues going on in wider society, it's been like that for us for the last 5.5 years, constantly focusing on budget, looking at what's coming in, what's going out, trying to ensure that staff are being motivated and being able to achieve in a difficult environment. That essentially is a startup business for us. Having said that, obviously being in the medical industry, we're privy to a lot more information than I guess regular people are as to what's happening. There's a lot more regulation on us. We're in contact with DHS, every couple of days. I'm receiving constant emails from them regarding everything from personal protective equipment right down to how many visitors we can have over the weekend, which does put a lot of pressure on the staff who are running the program, because it changes the way we operate. So how are we dealing with that is quite transparently. I'm trying to send as much information that I get, obviously distilled down, to the rest of the staff to give them an idea of where we sit as an organisation and where they sit as individuals working in a healthcare sector. Coupled with that, we're trying to forward plan. As of today, there's a lot of talk about stage 3 restrictions. So considering that there's a lot of talk, we're already putting plans in place as to how we're going to operate underneath those stage 3 restrictions. As a hospital, we have a medical advisory committee that advises us on medical aspects. So I'm in constant contact with the people that are part of that committee to get instruction as to how we should operate. Are we allowed visitors? Are we exempt from doing this? Are we exempt from doing that? Do we have to comply with this or that, in order to ensure that the business can still operate in this difficult environment? One of the hardest things that we found is the staff. As all people out in wider society are anxious. Nobody's 100% sure what to expect, and nobody's 100% sure no one's 100% sure in terms of what's coming, especially from a government point of view. So the biggest thing we're trying to do is alleviate some of that anxiety with the staff. And one of the ways we're doing that is one of our counsellors here, Julie, has put together a bit of anxiety reduction versus COVID-19 PowerPoint that we're going to Zoom. Obviously, we can't do face-to-face stuff anymore. We're going to Zoom to the entire staffing cohort on Tuesday evening in order to try and reduce their anxiety. The other thing we've done is we've rolled out the Australian healthcare sector COVID-19 training, which is an online training tool that the Australian government's put together, once again, to give the staff more information, more understanding of how to operate in this environment, which I'm hoping is giving them an opportunity to reduce their anxiety and see through some of the issues and some of the process and procedural changes that we're putting in place. So it's difficult, but the main focus for us is really forecasting change and then putting in procedure before it becomes a reality for us.
And I have got a question there, is what's one thing that's working that you would give a great tip? So you're the entrepreneur business advisor now to people that are looking at this. What would be one tip? And you almost gave it just then. What would be one tip you'd give to other business owners out there about surviving through this COVID-19 situation we're in?
I think the biggest tip is forecasting. There's a lot of talk, there's a lot of misinformation, unfortunately, in the wider media. But if you really look through, I guess, look through what's being presented, you can see what's coming. So forecasting and putting in place policies and procedures so that everybody's informed, everybody knows how they're going, what's going to happen if this regulation comes into place, and not just staff, but also clients and residents as well. From our point of view, it alleviates a lot of the anxiety, it alleviates a lot of the unknowns, and allows people to continue to operate in a very difficult environment. So that's our big tip.
And it's a huge tip, you know, especially coming from a medical profession. I just absolutely love what you just said then. You know, we've got a great relationship. We absolutely endorse what you do. So how do people connect with you? How can they connect with Arrow Health? If people want to learn more about your organisation, more about your hospital, we're going to put your contact details up at the end of this interview for people to get in contact. But, you know, what's the best way to get in contact with Arrow Health?
As with everything these days, is our website at www.arrowhealth.com.au. Essentially, it's got all our information. It's got a story of where we came from, where we're going, and who we are. Talks about what we do, everything from outpatient to inpatient type programs, and the hospital as well. So that's the place to get in contact with us.
Yeah. So I want to wish you all the best, Toby, and you and your team, because you've got a great team. And as you know, we're always there to support you with anything, like your other consultants that you have, your advisory board and everything like that. So I just really appreciate you spending the time to do this with me today.
Thanks, Colin. And just on that, actually, it is important to recognise our team is doing a fantastic job. And if I can shout out to them through here, I'd like to say, guys, you're doing a fantastic job, and we've just got to keep focused on one day at a time.
Perfect. Thanks, buddy. Good on you. No worries. Cheers.
Thanks, Colin. Bye.